Hi guys. Let me tell you. I could not go back to sleep this morning. I've been up since 8 o'clock since this happened, and I was trying to go back to sleep and I could not. And I was like, you know what? I've got to go through what I've gotten, and this is just going to be a real quick validation of what I know so far, what I can validate so far, because we don't know a lot on this person, and this is all alleged because we're innocent until proven guilty, right? So I'm going to wait till people get here because there's some astonishing things that I've come across. And actually, I don't want to mention anything yet till we get more people here, actually, because it's kind of mind-blowing. I think it's connected to more. And I think that's why there's certain things that I got. But from, what we're finding out, I just can't believe it. I actually got this was going to get solved in the last number 7 world events, but we're gonna dive in just a little bit, and later I might do another live and we'll show you clips of my videos. Right now Tammy's sick and she's the one that can do it because she's got multiple screens. I don't, and I'm not good on any of that. So yeah, they arrested someone, and so there's only so much information I can validate right now because there's only so much that I'm gonna have to re-go through everything, because I'm pretty sure I got October in there somewhere, but I'm just waiting. There's gonna be more people pop on. I know there is, so I'm just gonna give it a couple minutes. But if Tammy's doing better tonight, we'll probably do another live. If not, we'll schedule it for another time where we'll play clips from my readings, and I'll show you guys what we found that matches so far. There's probably gonna be way more, and we don't know all the connections that this guy has, either if it's to the family, to the other people. I've always thought this was kind of a ring, and if Kagan turned him in allegedly, then that's from the dark web. That's, that would make sense as one of his clients. That's kind of it is possible. And that would make sense for the rest of my reading. So, because remember, you guys, in my readings, I get connections. So I did get a lot on Kagan and his dad, and that's because they're a connection. If they're involved, it's possible they could be involved as well, more than what we think or know. But the reason why that came in is a connection. You know what I mean? I get connections to the actual perpetrator. I get things surrounding the perpetrator. So there's a lot here. They are still involved, but like I said, I think it's a ring. I think it's more than one person, whether it's just connections or it's I've always said it's a pedo ring. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but that's what I've always kind of said. I think it's connected to more, but this guy, there's so much I've gotten on him that it's freaking insane, just from what we know so far. And if you haven't listened to the very last reading I did, I suggest that you do, because that's where a lot of the information came in at. So I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. We've got 26 people. Like I said, it's an early live. I was like, you know what? I have to run and go get hay for the goats today, but I need to come on here because this is going to drive me absolutely insane, because I cannot believe this. Not only that, but many people are posting, many people are messaging me, and if I just do this, I understand. I can kind of stop it now. So, if you guys haven't seen the picture, you can come back to the community post. I did post a picture. I don't know how to put things on here because I don't have multiple screens. So like I said, we'll do one with Tammy and she'll post everything, but I'm just going to simply talk about what I feel I've gotten that matches. So if you go back to the community post, it's interesting. I know that I put this sketch with a lot of people because the sketch that I got seems to match everybody that comes into the play with this case. And I just wonder, no, I didn't download it. Anyways, so so first of all, I want to say in my Delphi auto rights World Events auto rights number 7 that I did a couple months ago, I stated that Delphi was going to be solved. So I got December with that, and that could mean before December with time frames, right? Or there could be something bigger that breaks in December. Keep that in mind. So that came out in World Events. Now, throughout my readings, I've kind of gone back a little bit. There's so much that I have not gone through every single thing. I don't know if you guys remember, like in the earlier auto rights, I mentioned lighter eyes. LE kept saying his eyes were not light, they were brown. If you look at the picture of this alleged suspect, his eyes are light color. They're like a greenish blue. That kind of blew me away because I've been saying that and everybody kept saying no. Now, in my Delphi auto rights, as I tell you guys, I've got multiple cases in there. Okay, so not everything that I got is going to fit Delphi, which I did not realize that when I did them. So, I know that now, and that's how I do my world events. So I kept getting light eyes, and Ellie was like, no, it's not light eyes. But it looks like if he's involved in this, allegedly, then there's his eyes. Also, another thing that I mentioned in my Delphi auto rights were he had a beard and mustache. I felt like he shaved at the time or cut it shorter afterwards, but I felt like there was gray coming in. That was also mentioned. But before, I feel like he had a chestnut colored hair. And it looks like, from what I'm seeing, that's probably, brownish chestnut colored with the mustache and the goatee and all of that. If you go back to my community page and in the group, I did post a picture of my sketch next to this guy, and it is pretty damn close, especially the nose. I think I remember in my Delphi auto rights that I wrote, or that Spirit gave me, that he was a family man. He was the last person you were going to expect. Which he has a wife, and he has, I'm wondering if he has a son that we're not aware of, because he does have a daughter, which I was getting a male and female older that he's connected to. So remember, like I said, like I get connections. So the father and son figure, Kagan and his dad, is a connection, right? And that's why I got so much on them, because it's like, that's what leads you to this guy. Okay, so way back in, I think it was the 4/25, 2017 was the first time I got Alan. I got a big A, and I got the name Alan. I think it had come in several times, but that's what I found so far, way back then. In the 2020 reading, December 22nd of 2020, I got the name Richard. And multiple times throughout the time, I got an R. I think there was even a time where I had gotten an R on a ranch, and it was circled. It turns out he does ride horses. There's pictures of him riding horses. I got that he was an avid outdoorsman. There are pictures of him being outdoors, and like, if you're riding horses and whatnot, you're outdoors. I don't know if he's a hunter yet or whatnot, but he looks like he's an outdoorsman. It turns out his wife does have reddish hair, which was another thing that came in. But if you go back to the very last reading that I did, there was so much in there that connects to this guy. It is insane. So I mentioned Alan, and I mentioned Rick. His wife calls him Rick or Ricky. That came in. I mentioned it twice in that because I was like, well, these are the names I got. I mentioned that also that he was an outdoorsman there. I mentioned there was a jumpsuit that came in, that he was going to be arrested. And so basically I got his name. Alan has come in several times. So I think that it's just amazing that I'm always bitching about not getting names, but it seemed that I got important names here. Especially he's known by Ricky. Rick, Alan came in the very last reading. A lot of information came in the last reading. Now, it could be that he's connected to other people, and that's why I was getting, and I don't know if he goes to church, so that could be another reason why we were getting that. But I always said he was the last person anybody was going to think about. Okay. And I'm sure that there's more stuff that I've gotten that I would have to go back through and see. His description that I got is correct. And I mean, like I said, there's not much that we know about him, so there's not much else I can validate. But it's kind of amazing. And you know what the funny thing is? I now understand why Rodney and Nick came in the last Delphi reading, due to the timing. If you look, the thing with Kylie came out this month, okay, about it being an accident and all of that, and then this hit. So that it has to do with the timing with the interconnects. Also, what's really weird is the very last Dylan reading that I did, I got Richard again. And that kept coming in, and I was like, what? Who is this Richard guy? Why does this keep coming in? It's because I was doing the reading for Dylan and it popped in like, okay, this guy's going to be significant. So that's how my interconnects work. A lot has to do with timing and when things are going to hit. There's a lot of stuff happening on my random world auto writes, or my world future predictions. That's kind of mind-blowing to me, but it did say Delphi was going to be solved. Now, I said I don't know if everything's going to come out with it, but a lot is going to come out with it. I'm kind of mind blown that he basically looks as I described. He basically matches the sketch. He basically has I'm getting he's like from Mexico, Indiana or something like that. Someone told me. That might be my Yep. No problem. Like I said, this is just like a quick thing because I keep getting a bunch of messages, and these are the things that I found that fit so far. The fact that I got his name. Rick Allen, very last reading I did, him in a jumpsuit, outdoorsman. There's lots of things in that reading. I'd be curious what else fits that fit directly to him. And I wonder what groups if he's connected to, if he's connected to any of these other people that I've been getting, or I was picking up other cases. Because again, I will get things that surround him and surround different things. Like I said, I've always felt there's more connected to this, whether it was a pedo ring, that he's connected to. Because if Kagan gave him up, that would be partly maybe he gave him the information on Abby and Libby. There's a connection there. I got kicked out of StreamYards right now. Can you guys still hear me? That was what the heck. I don't know. It wouldn't let me back in. I had to start all over. How weird is that? Yep, I got kicked out of StreamYards. It just kicked me off. And it's like, oh, you're kicked off. It might be on our end. So like I've always said, this is the beginning. Okay. This is the beginning of there might be more that comes out and there might not. I mean, it depends on what they're able to find out and all of that. So again, this has been a long time coming, and I'm going to have to go back and see if I've got any specific dates or anything about this. So I'm going to have to go through every single auto write and reading I did. But it's kind of pointless till more comes out on this guy. Again, there's a lot that's fitting him. Quentin is in the landfill. It's just taking time. Yeah. Well, you know, everybody was breaking on this, and I was like, I need to get on here and discuss this because my mind was reeling. My mind was reeling because even when I get stuff that's right and correct, I even flip out because it mind blows me, you guys. Like, seriously, I cannot believe that Rick Allen came in the very last reading that I did, and I got a jumpsuit, and I got, the outdoorsman, and there's so much that I got on him just in the last reading alone. We are talking about Delphi, but someone mentioned Quentin, so I was just saying that. We are talking about Delphi. So, and I don't want to repeat myself, but a lot of people keep coming in. So, like I said, if you go back in the readings, there is going to be a lot that is just, it's going to fit so much. It's crazy because it's already fitting, right? Again, like the Richard came in 2020 in that reading that I did. Rick Allen came in the very last reading that I did, if you guys have not seen that. And then Allen came way back in 2017. A big A. The R's been in. I don't wonder if he has a connection to a ranch or something like that, or it was just their way to show me an R. Maybe where he has his horses, because it looks like he rides horses, which also came in. So Delphi, is the two girls, Abby and Libby, that were murdered in Delphi, Indiana, back in, I think it was 2017. So it's a huge case here in the States. It'd be best if maybe you Google it. So there's a lot that we'll find out and a lot that we won't. I know that there's a few other things that came in, like a trophy that came in. I had gotten that. I need to look at where he works. Supposedly he works at CVS, which is weird because I think way back I got something with medications and stuff, which is a pharmacy. So I could see how that would click now. Like it was weird. There are some businesses I think that I got around in that area. I'd have to go back and see. And again, there might be some other things that, like, again, we don't know, right? So he definitely looks like an outdoorsman. He definitely looks like he rides horses. I got his name. He looks, if you go back to the community page, we'll show you guys whenever we do the other one, but the community page, my sketch matches. It's weird because my sketch also matched Kagan. They all seem to have the same face shape. And his eyes are light. Like, I can't believe that because I kept saying that and everybody's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. Like, his eyes are light. But I also got a brown-haired guy, or brown-eyed guy. But I think, like I said, it could be connections. Like, they will give me people that you can find that will connect back to this guy. Kagan was a big piece, and that's why he came in number 1, because it connects to this guy. You know what I mean? So I don't think without finding Kagan and talking to Abby and Libby online, like, they would have found this guy. Like, I think he's a link. And I think that's why so much came in about Kagan and his dad. So that's how spirit works. They give links, they give connections. I'd be curious if the girls knew him, if he knew the family, because that came in a lot. And I'd be curious if he was any part of the search as well, because I think that was the first time I got that, the last reading. But I did get that there was going to be something that was going to break. There was something that was going to break soon from the world events auto right. That's when it came in. And now the whole getting Kylie, Rodney and Nick, that makes sense because of the timing of it all. And this breaking is this month. I think October may have come in, but I'm going to have to go back and look because I can't be for sure. Like I said, I did how many videos on that? There's 12 auto writes, 2 regular readings, and one channeled reading, which that one was the most accurate, I think. Like, it wasn't as much jumbled up. Because when I auto write, I will get a lot. of information, and it's not just for that specific case. I will get, interconnects of other cases in the area or whatever, but a lot of it was him, or people that he's connected to, or things like that. I did get hiding in plain sight in one of my readings as well, and I found it weird that the police did say he was hiding in plain sight. And I don't think he changed anything. I don't think anybody suspected him. Like I always said, he was the very last person anybody was going to think. Like he comes off as a normal person, but he's not normal. There's something really, really wrong in his brain. And he might even be, who knows? There might be more connected to him we just aren't aware of yet. But the fact that I got his name blew me away today, because Rick and Alan came in the very last reading, and then Richard and Alan came in way before. It's like it came in kind of, broken up and everything, but it's one of those things where I even get blown away. Like I had all the information on them, but it's so hard to, I can't like look at all these people and put it all together, because sometimes it doesn't come in, like you don't get the two names together. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get Rick and Alan together, and who would think that it would be Rick Allen and not Alan being a separate person? So it's hard to understand, you know what I mean? And hard to put together. And again, I still think it's connected to other things and other people in the area. I can't put my finger on it. Like it almost feels like some kind of, like I said, ring. It kind of feels like that. I could be wrong about that, but it's possible because of everything else that I got. Because if this matches, a lot of the other stuff is going to match. You know what I mean? Like it's not normal for me to get just to get a few things right. If I get a few things right, a lot of it's going to be right. Yeah. So we will put up where I got that in a video whenever Tammy's feeling better, and we do a live, because she's not feeling good. And she was going to come on here and do this with me now, but again, she's going to urgent care. She's sick. So I don't know when that's going to be. And yeah. And it's weird. There's a picture of him on that bridge. It's so weird, because I remember I kept getting at one point, like he had a wife, and like she had red hair, and she does, or it's like a reddish color. And then he does have a teenage daughter, and which I had gotten. There's one point I did get, he was a family man. I just don't know where like the teenage son comes in, or it's someone like a son. I'm not really sure. So yeah, I'm sick. So yes, that's Shazam. She's not, like I said, she's not doing very good. So like we were going to come on and show you guys clips where I got this stuff, but you guys can go back into the readings that now now that I've told you where they're at. Very last reading I did, check that one out. The one I did 12/22/2020, check that one out. And the one that I did for April 2017 is when I first got Alan. So that name kept coming in a lot. Like I said, I always bitch that I don't get names, and I got important names in this one, and I'm very that's really mind blowing to me, because it's a struggle to get names sometimes. But it seems like when it counts, I do that. Like mostly I get description, but it seems like Spirit really wanted to give me his name and did a good job doing it. Okay, so she's older. See, she is older. Okay, but she looks like teenage in the picture images I saw. So I'm wondering who the guy is. I guess it could be a son-in-law, but I kept getting a male, female connected to him, older. Yeah, to get a name is really tough, and that's the thing, like Rick I mean, I kept getting that. And it's so crazy because in Dylan's, the last reading I did on Dylan, I kept getting Richard. And I was like, why am I getting Richard? Like, it didn't click. It didn't click with the person I was giving the reading to. And it was because it needed to come in because that was going to happen. And that happened. It would due to the timing of it, right? Because I was working on Dylan and everything. And I was going to get that released. So if you go back to Dylan's last reading, it does get mentioned in there, Richard. But that's how my interconnects work. However, again, see, so that could be his son-in-law that I was getting. Because I was getting a male, female. It was like weird. They kind of came in. And I kept getting he was a family man. Again, last person you would think. Like, there's a lot about him that I got. Some can be validated. Maybe some can't. Because we won't know. But it could be, people that he's connected to. Or other things that are connected to this situation that I also got. That's why I think Kagan and his dad can't, so much fit them. Because kind of his dad leads to Kagan. And they could be involved in a different way. They could be involved. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Okay. So it could be his son-in-law. I mean, that's very, it's very possible. I don't remember where that came in at. And I'm wondering, because I wonder if he's more like a son, because I kept getting like a father-son connection. And again, see, he's friends with Tony. So he was friends with TK. So see, that's why so much came in with Kagan and TK, because they're big connections. So if you guys see, the thing I wrote, well, all this fits KK and TK. And I said, I don't think it's the whole puzzle. Like, I think they're just connections. They're involved in some way. And the way that they're involved is because of this. Yeah. Exactly. I did see, and that was back in the day. So it is like 20. I don't know where I got that at. I'm going to have to go back through my readings, but I did get that he was a family figure and he had a male and female, like daughter, son. Yeah, I know. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm just saying what validates. There's a lot that validates here, and it's blowing my mind. Right down to the world events where I said Delphi was going to get solved soon. So that, I mean, it makes sense because I did get, he had multiple names or different names as well. So that would fit that he has an alternate online name. I'm trying to remember. I did so much work on this, you guys, that it's just, I can't believe that I got his name. That's like tripping me out so bad. Hello, Trace of Shadows. So yeah, wow, wild. Rick Allen. And his wife calls him Rick or Ricky. So that's why I would get that name. And both of those names came in the last reading. So it was like, here's his name. There's other names that I got too, but those could be connections. I don't really know whether it's fit or another case, but more than likely it could be friends or whatever. But yeah, please hit the like button for me. And somebody kept telling me when this breaks, like, you're going to be amazed. And it's so crazy because I am. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's the whole story, but I think it's a big part of the story, because I got so much on him. So, excuse you. I don't need your butt in my face. Thank you very much, Roscoe. Yeah, so I'm wondering what his online names are, if it's something that I got, but I know that I got that he had multiple names. Yeah, and they have to be careful because there's a reason that there's a reason they need to be careful with this information. But there's a reason they arrested him. Like, they have to have evidence to arrest him. So yeah. But he's not originally from there, which is what I said. And what's weird is someone told me he's like from Mexico, Indiana or something like that. And I remember I kept getting a link to Mexico and I didn't realize. Oh, I got that name, Matthew. Hold on. I did get that name. Oh, he was in the search party. Okay, that came in the very last reading. I'm telling you, the very last reading is the most accurate. You guys got to go to that. I appreciate all the information because I don't know a lot, and so he is on social media. I know I got that. Hold on a second. I know I did. Oh, it came in Gannon. Oh, wait, it came in last reading on Delphi. 1 second. Where is it, Matt? Where is it? It said it came in here. Huh. I wonder how close he is. It says I got it in this one. I hate when it does that and then it doesn't. Hold on. Where is it? It came up on my search. See, an older man has family. I see a wife and 2 kids. So the 2 kids, that could be his son-in-law. I said definitely think a son and daughter. I don't know where the truck is going to come in, though. Because I know I heard shifting gears a lot, and that might go with something completely different. It's okay. His wife name's Kathy. I'm looking because I know it says I got Matthew in this other. Do you know what the son-in-law's name is? I sure did get Aaron a lot. See, there's an R. He stays in the shadows and out of the limelight. Only his employers know who he is. There is a cursive R. I don't know if that's a connection to his work or not. See? This was, I'll tell you what reading this was. I get the name Matt. See? So that's his middle name. It's a short version of Matthew. So that came in, that was my last reading on October 15th, 2019. Thought it was going to be my last reading, but it wasn't. So that was October 15th, 2019 that stuff came in. Apollo. I think I got it. I'd be curious as to, yeah. I'd be curious of what's around his house because of stuff that I got, like the slaughterhouse and things like that. I could have been picking up, like, I'd be curious where his address is because there might be things I picked up around his address. Like I said, when I get things, I can get things where, people that are connected, where the people live, where evidence is, like there's a lot of different things, what it's connected to. I don't think I ever got Brittany. That last name, I wouldn't have got that last name. I think I got Paul somewhere, though. That came in Dulce. Paul did. So, I mean, there's a lot. Hello, nice to see you. Dang, almost 80 people in here. I think this is a record for my... I'm getting somebody sending me messages. I'm just looking to see. So he wore sunglasses on his hat. I think I got that somewhere. What? Okay, so she did have a son. So that would make this, if this is correct. Okay, if this is correct. That can't be right. All right, so get this. I'm about to bring you some more connections here. So, Andrew, that name came in. I will tell you where that came in just a second. That was her son that committed suicide. So there's the older son. So it was his stepson. So that would be the male and female that I'm getting. I don't know if that's a stepson or real son, actually. There's a male and female that I was getting that are kids that were older. So there is an Andrew that was that committed suicide, and guess what? He's a pastor. There's a connection to the church. I will get you. Yep, young pastor, father of 3. He was a pastor. Kathy Allen put this on her. Oh, fuck. So there you go. I think Kagan led him to this guy. I really do, because they've been. I just think it's, and so there's my pastor connection. And why I kept getting the person shaking the hands, it was probably his son, and there's another connection. Let me see. Her horse's name is Hank. Hold on. I think I got that too. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe this. I got Hank Williams. Yes, I did. So that's the horse's name. I'm going to. Oh, also the name Hank is a possible connection. And then I said Hank Williams. So that's probably who he's named after. But that was an auto write 10 that I did. So, well, they, they're not going to say how they got the information. We'll just say that. This is about Delphi. So then, and I know I got Andrew too. I know I did. All these names are like ringing a bell here. Delphi auto write 10. It came in there as well. That would be her son. So there is a son and daughter. He did have a son and daughter. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's his or it's a stepson. I don't know about that yet. Holy crap. I know I got it in here. It said it was an auto write 10, but I can't find it. Andrew, it says auto write 10. Hold on, I'm looking for this name because it says it's in this one. I wonder if he works on cars or anything like that. Because that kind of came in. See, I'm wondering if his son was or her son, Kathy. I don't know, but I don't know if it's actually his son, but he looks like Kathy had a son named Andrew, which I got, that was a pastor that committed suicide. So that's where the pastor comes in at. I wonder if he was on a farm when he was younger. I mean, I wonder how much we're going to be able to find out on this anyways. Like, we're not going to probably be able to hook everything in together. But I did get... I'm looking for Matthew. It says or not Matthew. Andrew. I know I got it. I'll have to find it. I know it's in here. I know that name is in here. Because I remember getting it. I just have to find it. Yep, and that's what I said. He looks like a normal guy. There's so much to give an update on. Eggplant, you're gonna have to, if you can just rewind and watch from there. There's so much. I don't want to repeat myself for the people that are here. It's basically just they arrested someone for Delphi. I'm going over things that fit. I will do a better validation video later. But if you can go back to the beginning and watch it. It's just like there's a lot. So, there's just so much to fit. I can't believe that her son was a pastor named Andrew and he committed suicide. So that's why I kept seeing somebody shaking hands. It must have been, and it makes me wonder if he ever went to one of the girls' baseball games or something like that. I mean, he's not as he looks. He's very, like I said, he's a lot worse than. And again, this is all alleged information, but there is a lot that is hitting him. A lot that is hitting him from my readings. A lot. Specifically, like I said, the last one. And then the ones that I've mentioned. Because I did get he was a family man and he had a male and female son and daughter. Which it looks like if that's his son, I just don't know. Right. And that's what I said. And they have kind of reddish hair, don't they? I know that the wife does she at one point. I mean, she looks like she dyes her hair, but that she has red hair at one point. Yeah, where is that CVS at? Because I want to see what's around there. I'm betting it's the one in Delphi. There's probably one by the bridge, huh? Yep, it's right by the trails. How do you like that? I don't know if you guys looked that up. And right by McDonald's. I got McDonald's in the last reading. That's where he works. Next door to it. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. And I said, why am I getting McDonald's? So the last reading is very accurate looking at it now. Wow. Hamilton, I got. I am flipped out right now. Because it's got to be that one because that one's by the. So basically, I was getting right next to his work. Wow, and it's right off of the. I'm seeing what else is around there because Franklin, there's Franklin again, runs right behind. Wow. 421. Yep. Got that somewhere too. Those all came in something else, but I cannot believe that's by McDonald's. I just got that. I just saw that today, so I'm pretty sure that is in the. I mean, I do too, Laura, but for now we're just going off of what we. He worked right by the sheriff's office. Wow. So he was right under their noses at all the whole time. I cannot believe that his work is literally right across from the trail, so it makes sense. And it's right next to McDonald's. I'm tripping out on that because the McDonald's came in the very last reading. You guys have got to go watch that last reading. There's too much hitting on there. And that's why I said when I channel this way, when I channel live with my little pen and paper, it seems that it's a little more accurate and direct than when I auto write. It kind of, I get information from all over. So like I said, I can get where they work, I can get where they live, I can get the people that they know, they're surrounded by. There's too much that is fitting here that I'm like, wow. I can't get over I can't get over that McDonald's meaning that much. I'm trying to find, because I was getting like a let me see 1 second. I was getting, what was that auto parts I was getting? There's an auto, I don't remember which auto parts it was that I got. I was trying to see if it was next to it, but McDonald's is. So basically I was getting next door to his work. Why I didn't get CVS, I don't know. But they just know how to show me McDonald's, so that's probably why. Yep, CVS. There isn't, like I said, yep, I did get prescription bottles of meds. Yes, I did. Now I didn't know if he was on them, and that could be why that came in like that. Hello. So this is, wow. I cannot believe this. Like, I knew when this broke, there was going to be a lot that I got that was going to fit, just because of how good the girls were with giving me information. I'm kind of, that's how I kind of got known, was doing the Delphi auto rights. Like, that was my first big case. And I worked on it for so long, and it was so much darkness around that case, that I had to stop because I was being attacked by dark entities when I was sleeping. So I had to stop. And that's why I let it go after a while. And plus, again, there's so much information you can get, only so much information you can get. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's, I don't know why I called him the specialist. It's so weird that I called him that. I'd be curious of his background if he was in the military and whatnot. I mean, like I said, he's going to look like a normal guy. And I didn't think he would look crazy or scary or anything like that. And again, he knew he was going to be there. I think he knew that they were going to be there because of Kagan. That's why there's a connection that is huge to Kagan and his dad, allegedly. Like you guys said, like he knows TK. So there is a connection. I just can, I mean, this is going to take me forever to come up with all this validation on the stuff that we just know already, that I've just mentioned here. That's already a ton, including names and whatnot, including her son being a pastor. Like, that's a trip. I always felt there is, he knows KK. Apparently they're friends or something like that. Or TK. I don't know. But there is a connection. And that's why I got so much on them, because it's like a huge connection. Like, you find these guys, you find him. And that's kind of how it worked, right? They found TK, they found KK. and now they're arresting this guy. That's not a coincidence. Like, there's a connection there. And that's why I got so much on them. So I basically got his full name, just not together. Even his middle name, Matthew. Matt is short for Matthew. So that came in auto right 10. And again, his name, Rick Allen, that's what his wife calls him, is Rick. I guess that's a nickname for Richard. Who knew? But I also got Richard. So, and then that would be why Richard kept coming in Dylan's. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense, because it was, the one that I just, the one I just did. It was like they were trying to tell me, okay, this guy Richard's going to be arrested, and we're going to bring it to you in Dylan because you're working Dylan right now and you're not working us, kind of thing. But the world events, I basically said this was going to get solved soon, and I didn't know if everything was going to come to light, but a lot was going to come to light. Thank you guys for the super stickers. It's very much appreciated. Because I did, like I said, I did a lot of work on this. This was a lot. And yeah, right, Faye? Well, you're probably going to have to rewind it, because I think I've talked about everything that we can connect to this guy. Like, and this is all, again, alleged. It's during the day because they arrested someone for Delphi. And I was like, dude, I have to get on here and talk about this, because the name that I got is him. And so I was sitting here with my mind reeling, and I was like, I have to tell someone. I have to go on and talk about this, because I am blown away. And if I'm blown away, I know you guys are going to be blown away. And it's like, I had the information the whole time. And I put it out there. And I remember, I remember Ellie kept saying, no, his eyes are brown. And I remember I kept getting like light eyes, and they're like, no, but in that picture, they're definitely light. And his nose from my sketch like fits. It's weird because my sketch fits all three of them. And that kind of like, what? Like, maybe that's why I only got one sketch, or it just could fit on multiple people. I don't know. It might just be a coincidence. His nose fits a lot though, and his facial hair, because I got like this and this. I'm going to have to, thank you, Faye, very much. I'm going to have to go, like I said, I did get, there was gray in his beard and whatnot. Yeah, like I said, if you go, okay, so I first got, you are going to have to go back to the beginning. I mean, the beginning of this live. And then I kind of told you guys where you can go look for the readings to find out that information. But again, we're going to do another live where we put clips in here, I hope. Because this is a lot. That's a lot that McDonald's, I believe, came in the very last one I did, but I think it came in before. I think it came in a lot of different times for some reason. And that would be because he's like right by there. It also came in a random pool. But yeah, it came in the last reading I did. The very last one. There's a lot. The very last one I think is the most accurate. Of course, everything is going, it fits one way or another, this case or other cases, but a lot's going to fit this case. That we, and like, again, I don't know what we can validate and what we can't, but the fact that her son is a pastor that committed suicide, that's who I saw shaking hands and whatnot. That's probably why I kept getting that, because he probably kept coming in. And I'm kind of blown away by that, because that would mean he did have a son and daughter, regardless of if it's bio or not. And his name is Andrew. And I know I got that. I know I did. It sounds so familiar. So I am just, I'm so happy that they finally have done something like this with the girls. What the girls told me justice was going to be served. The last reading I did, I saw an orange jumpsuit. So I said someone was going to jail. And then in the world events, it came in again, like, okay, it's going to happen soon. Because I think I did that like 2 months ago. There's lots of happening in my world events right now. Like, it's tripping me out, because, and it's so sad, because I kept getting like there's going to be suicide in a high number of family members, like a lot of family members. And I kept getting like family of 7, but there's been a family of 6 and a family of 8 within a week of each other. And they've both apparently shot themselves and burned in a fire. And it's kind of weird that they're the same. I'm kind of tripped out. Like, why are they exactly the same? Are we sure that they're really a murder suicide? Like, that's tripped me out. There's a lot that's happened in those world events lately. It's like Spirit told me do it now because all the stuff that I'm going to tell you is going to start happening for some kind of validation. I don't know. But there's a lot of validation in these Delphi auto-writes, specifically the last reading. I am tripped out because I went over the, what's it called? The transcript today. And you know what? I could probably do that now real quick. I can scan it. Because man, you guys, like seriously, this is insane. And this is the most people we've had in here. I thank you guys for your support so much. And that's okay. So let me go to the transcript. And again, I will play clips once because that's something Tammy has to do because she has multiple screens. I do not. I have one computer. Maybe one day I will. And I am not technologically savvy. So the reading does start about 12 minutes on that one. And this is the very last one I did. Delphi has its own playlist, so you should be able to find everything in the Delphi playlist in case anybody wants to go back. Now there's, yeah, okay, so, that's why I would have got, and Gannon, I got Matthew and Gannon too, but Matt came in the Delphi auto-write 10. But that's what I mean, like, interconnects. It was a child, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, where we go? Let's see. But that's why I'm wondering where the other person comes in, because I always felt there was 2 involved, and that could be going back to that the second person being a connection like Kagan, or maybe we don't know yet. Like that could be like the 2 like missing piece. I don't know. So let's see. I'm in the giggling. A sleepover. Baseball game. Or softball, whatever. There is a baseball. I didn't realize that there's actually one around that area too. So I don't know if that's what it means. Or it's just because she played McDonald's. I don't know if she liked McDonald's, why I'm seeing McDonald's, but I'm seeing McDonald's. This is the last reading at 22:43. So his work is right next door to that. Slumber party. Headphones. Computer. Talking on a computer. Church. I wonder where that pastor was a pastor at, if it's connected to them or not. Because if so, and he was a pastor at the church that they attended, I could see the connection. Because I got clergy. And this is where the 10 degrees of separation comes in. So I'm curious if he does know the family in some way, like maybe through church or something. If depending on where that guy was a pastor at, I'd be curious. It's okay. Nobody bark. It's just the car going up the street. I wonder where Cody fits in because it feels like there's a link somewhere. So the connections just could be through his son. I don't know. Or who knows who he's connected to. Curious about the motorcycles where they fit. It's okay, baby. Dark web came in. The word pedo came in. Curious if he's got a truck, because that came in like a loud sounding truck. Then the church comes in again. So that could just be the connection with the pastor, like the son that's pastor. Sorry, I'm just going over this because I'm not saying every little thing, but the word sinister. She kept taking me to the baseball game, so I wonder if there's some kind of connection there as well, or if he watched or something. I wonder about Hunter, but outdoorsman came in, and he does come across as an outdoorsman. Baseball came in again. Then the connection to the family. I just don't know how they know him. Yeah, I guess I should have said unalive instead of something. So you said he was part of the search team. So I hear the words part of the search team. That came in at 4934. So there you go with that. Curious if he carries a knife because that came in. I got the word uncle, and I'm curious if he is one or connects to one. I wonder if he wears like those, like, I don't know, hunting boots or those kind of like, what are they called? Like hiking boots, the ones with the grooves, because I got that. I got a person with a briefcase walking into court, so a lawyer. So that could mean that he was going to have a lawyer. He's going to have to go to court. Sometimes things don't always mean what we think they mean. Initial R. So that's where the initial came in here. Curious where the J is going to come in at, because the J, I mean, I've gotten that a lot and I don't know. Followed, got a creepy vibe. Kept getting payoff, and I don't really know what that's about. I'm trying to find where I got his name at so I can give you guys this thing. rugged looking, facial hair with him, beard and mustache, kind of chestnut thicker. But I had gotten in another place that he had white coming in, and I was seeing him how he was back then, so I don't think there was as much gray hair back then. I wonder if there's a connection to Ron Logan somehow. I wonder if these other names are going to be like connections or something. Pose. This is a game. The name Alan keeps coming in. I've gotten that a lot before. That is at 1 hour, 18 minutes. It's weird Steve kind of comes in because that's Debbie's husband's name. I don't know if that connects here. Then that's where after that Rodney comes in and Nick. And then the church comes back again. Weird. Like almost like they were trying to connect the pastors, the son pastor, at this time. And I also got like there's something about rejection. Here we go. Rick, where'd it go? 1 hour, 22 minutes and 15 seconds. I also get the name Rick. So actually, Rick came in a little bit after Alan. It wasn't far after. That's for sure. And here at 1:23:05, I do see someone going to jail. Handcuffs and a jumpsuit. What's weird is they're saying it's not as it seems. Everything as it seems. And then they talk about it being bigger. For some reason. So those are and then the church again. I mean, that came in a lot. Church and baseball for some reason. I don't really know why. But we might find out one day. Who knows? So yeah, guys, that's a lot. That was all in the last reading, and then that's not even including all the other stuff that we've already talked about. There seems to be a lot connecting that is just crazy. So so yeah, Tara German did verify that this is the guy. And yeah, he always wears that blue hat. Which is so weird because last night on Dulce, I kept seeing the guy with the blue hat on. And so I'm kind of wondering. Right. That's why I'm wondering. Like, I think, because like I said, in my readings, I got a lot of different connections, and it might be friends, it might be relatives, it might just be people that surround this whole thing. If he is connected to some kind of online ring, you know what I mean? But it feels like the Kleins connect here. And like you guys, someone just said that he connects to TK. So that means KK knows about him. So that means he more than likely told him about the girls going to the bridge that day. Like, that's why I got so much on TK and KK, like in the first reading and stuff. Like I said, they will give connections. Like, if you find these people, you'll find this person. It's almost like a bam, bam, bam. And then again, like the McDonald's is right next to his work. Like, there's certain things that they will give in the prescription. I mean, I didn't think at the back, things are symbolic, right? I didn't think back then that prescriptions was going to mean a pharmacy. And it's hard, like, to perceive that and understand that sometimes. But if you guys notice, like, my gifts are sort of changing. They're becoming more direct, especially when I channel live. Like for instance, I got his literal name in that last reading together. So, that just shows kind of how my gifts are changing and things are coming in a little clearer. And I'm always complaining, like I said, that I don't get names, but that's pretty freaking amazing to me. And I have to thank the girls for that. The girls and their guides and my guides, that's who gives me the information. I'm just the channel. So they did a really good job. Every time I communicated with them, I had a really good rapport with them. I had a really good connection with them. And especially Libby, for some reason, she was stronger than Abby. And I think she was like that in life. I think she would kind of, be the protector and be the one that spoke up, and Abby comes across as more shy. And so that's why, like, people, they are how they are here. So on the other side, if she was stronger, like a stronger, more outgoing person here, then she would come across that way on the other side. And because she was into the criminology, I don't know what that word would be, but she was into true crime and things like that. She would had to have. So it's everything, as Spirit mentioned, will fit like a puzzle, and there is puzzle pieces, and it's almost like all the puzzle pieces are being put together and have been put together to come to this conclusion. And actually, Delphi was the first time that I got information that I was going to have interconnects and that things were connected in that way. And so that's the first time that they told me about that. Neo, no one wants your butt in my face, baby. So, it's amazing when you look back and you see how much is fitting, and it's like, damn, like, how did I find them off that? But it's not up to me to find them. It's just up to me to put the information out so that it gets validated when the person gets arrested, or it can help if cops listen. I mean, they never had this guy's name, but I did, or Spirit did. And that's what I mean. Like, sometimes I think we can be a tool for law enforcement if they would listen. And sometimes some of them do, some of them don't. But this is one thing that I am glad it is coming. I'm glad that we're getting the ball rolling as to, with the girls. And I always, and like I said, I didn't know for a while if they were going to arrest anybody, but it's weird that the reading I got this year, I got him in handcuffs and stuff. And then it came in the world events. So you guys, I mean, anybody gets any more information on this guy, send it to me. So we can use it in the, we can validate more stuff. There's a lot to go through to validate. And there's stuff like personally, like how he is and like his personality, like the other side of him that I don't think a lot of people saw. Like that, I can't really validate that, but the girl said it. Like I said, if a lot of this is fitting, it is Richard, aka Ricky Matthew Allen. You will have to go. You'll have to go back and rewatch this because it explains everything. And I can't think of anything else to talk about right now. I don't want to just keep repeating the same things. I just wanted to come on here because, again, it broke. I had a lot of people messaging me. I had a lot of people that were, I just wanted to let you guys know that I knew so that I didn't have to kind of repeat myself. I was floored by the name that I got, that it fits, and by so much else that's fitting. It's just, it's mind blowing. And it's good to know that I was their voice, and that the information that I got was correct from them, and that, I put it out there for them. So yeah. And I think that's why it came in the last Dylan reading, Richard, but I had gotten it before. Like I said, in 2022 or 2020, sorry, December 22nd, 2020. That's when Richard came in. But I mean, his name's been coming in a lot. Like, I remember Alan kept coming in. I just wonder who Aaron is and who he connects to, because it might be a totally different case. That name came in a lot too. But Alan definitely did come in. So, all right. Any questions? I don't know that I can answer any, but oh, Andrew. Andrew was his name. And I have screenshots. You can find it on her, I guess, her Facebook page. It's on his wife's Facebook page. I don't know. It's Andrew. And let's see. Like I said, I got that name, so that's tripping me out too. It is on her. Let's see. She didn't send me the whole thing. It was September 7th, 2018 was when she posted to my Andrew. It's only been 3 days. So he passed in September 2018, which kind of makes you wonder if he knew something. But says young pastor, father of 3, unalives himself days later. Wife's letter. So she has it on her. I'm pretty sure that's his. I mean, unless I'm being sent the wrong information. So, how'd you find that out? Whiteman Drive. Let me look at that. Now I need to look at the Whiteman Drive, because that's his address. I need to see something now. You guys are good investigators. Finding all this information. Okay, it's 6 minutes from his work, 1.7 miles, and it is over by Crestwood. It's by Bridge Creek. And the Farm Bureau is over there, huh? Oh, it's right across from Delphi Methodist Church. So that could be why the church kept coming in. I'd be curious what church the girls attended with their parents, because that is right across from Delphi Methodist Church. And I'm kind of tripped out a little bit because the church kept coming in so much. They were trying to give a location on where he lived. So they're giving location on where he worked, where he lived. Yeah, it does look like a nice area, but it's like I said, it's right across from Delphi Community High School. Where did the girls go to high school at? Or did they go to high school? 421 came in somewhere, but that's why I'm thinking, oh, and look, there's a baseball field right there. So again, that could be why the baseball is coming in. That could be why the church was coming in. If they went to Methodist, he lives right across from Methodist. So now it's kind of connecting. Oh, well, maybe he saw them at church. Maybe he went to church with them, or the fact that he lives like literally across from that church and across from the baseball field, which is why she kept mentioning church and baseball in the very last reading. Now it kind of makes sense. She was trying to, excuse me, Neil. She was trying to tell me where he worked and where he lived. And that's what I'm saying. That's how kind of things kind of connect. Like they can do that. And we don't know that, so we can't say. And it's on Washington Street, which also was in my pool list. Nia, what? Yeah, buddy. I know. This is my loving cat. It's literally 6 minutes, so 1.7 miles. Yep. But I mean, him living right across from that church, if they went to that church, now it kind of connects. And again, the high school's right there with the baseball field faces his house. So that's kind of a trip. Yeah, that's why I'm saying that's why I got Rodney and Nick, was because all that happened with Rodney Kylie this month, and then now this has happened. So that's where the interconnect comes in and the connections. It's kind of weird how those connections fit like that with timing, but I can see the connections because I'm used to how spirit works that way, and I try to kind of like explain it to people, but I know it's hard to like understand. What, dude, seriously? Sorry, my cat knocked off my camera. Shit. The Delphi Youth Baseball is also right there by the bridge. So I don't know exactly where this happened at, but it literally backs up to Deer Creek. And the bridge is right there. So I'm wondering if that youth baseball thing, because they mentioned baseball so much, and yes, she played softball, but it just makes me wonder, if there's more meaning for the baseball, because like I said, there's a youth baseball, and I can't believe this is he worked on Franklin, because that's been coming up a lot lately. Alexis, it came in. But yeah, there's a youth baseball. It's literally right by, I mean, on the map, it's right by Deer Creek and the bridge and everything. And then there's a baseball field like right across from his house, like, a couple neighborhoods or a couple streets over, but still there. I have been over by here. I remember that St. Matthew's Church, which is odd. I don't know. Yep, hiding in plain sight was what I said before, that he was hiding in plain sight. I said that, and then the cops came out and said it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because I felt he was a family man. I felt was the last person anybody was gonna even think was involved. But it seems like that she gave a lot of information as to his locations, like where he lived and where he worked, like literally the McDonald's, the prescriptions, and again the church and the baseball and everything like that. That all seems to connect, and they must have went to the same church. Like if he went to church, it would probably be that one. That's speculation. I don't know. I'm just guessing as to why the church came in so much. so that's kind of that's kind of crazy. I mean, I want to say amazing because of the way that Spirit brought the information in. Yeah. Yeah, it's on 421, which I got 421. Like, that's crazy. I didn't even realize. Hold on. Like, even the little things I got click. I got it in Malia. I can't remember if they went missing at the they went missing around the same time or when was Malia? No, that was 2009. When was Malia reading? In 2019. Okay, so this was after. I did get 421 in there. So that's kind of weird. Okay. I don't know how you guys find all this. You guys are great at finding up stuff. And so that's I just can't. I'm kind of just blown away that she had a pastor son. If that's correct, if I'm getting the right information. Hopefully I am. And it was in the church. And they live from he lives across the street from the church. So that's what I mean. Things can have multiple meanings. School is Delphi Middle School. Let me pull that map back up and let me see where that is, because the high school is right there. Where is that at? How come that's not? Delphi Community Middle School. Let me add a. Okay, there's only a Delphi Community High School, Delphi Community Elementary School. There is no Delphi Community Middle School that's popping up. Hang on. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's see, where is it at? Where's it at? Oh. It's the same place as the high school. That's what it shows. Yep. Right across from where he worked, or right across from where he lived. Yep. He lived right across from their school. Wow. Their school and their church. And probably where she played baseball or softball, because we know she played softball. There's the softball field right there, and he lives literally across from there. And so he might have seen, it's very possible that he was at their games, especially if they're one of those ones that go to games like that. So, I mean, it's very possible. Yep, he lives next to the high school. And that's what I'm saying. I kept getting in that last reading that like he was at a baseball game or a softball game. And so that's very possible that he did go there. And he did know them from that church. If he went to a church, it's probably going to be that one. It's very possible. And this is all speculation. I'm just saying that's why all this would connect. And someone said he was in the search party. I never got that until the last reading. So the last reading is very accurate. I'm wondering the same thing, Midnight Noon, and that would be why that kept coming in. And I did get the name Andrew. I just can't find it right now. I know I did. I remembered I did. That was one thing that I remember. That's so crazy. I mean, that's so crazy that they were giving me where he worked and and probably how he's seen them and everything. Okay, so it's apparently the son of Kathy. I don't know if it's his son or not, but I don't know if it's his bio son or stepson. The pastor, his name is Andrew. Hello. It's on her Facebook. Oh, we got 100 people in here. Wow, that's the most ever. Welcome. Wow. Yeah, he would have had to have. Definitely. I just wonder what he drives. Well, we can't validate that yet, so I don't know. Yeah, that's just how the clues come in, and like I said, they will give me where it's not always just where people are located, right? It's stuff that has to do with the person that's involved or the people that's involved. So it would be where they work, where their house is, how they might have met them, things that that are around the situation. So that's kind of what I tell you guys, puzzle pieces. And in the very beginning, the girl said, these are going to be puzzle pieces. You've got to put the puzzle pieces together. So that's what they were trying to say. Like, you've got to fit these puzzle pieces. And so that's exactly what they gave, was different puzzle pieces. And again, the last reading, his name came in that last reading. It came in before separate, but it came in almost together in that reading. So yeah, well, Delphi was huge for me. So a lot of people, that's when they started following me before I lost my channel. Some of them I lost when I lost my channel, and some of them found me again. But that was one thing that I'm known by, like, for the Delphi stuff. Like, when I went on Marv and Frank, everybody's like, you got to go see your Delphi reading. So that's how people know me. So that's why I think people are here, is because I did so much on Delphi. Like, that's what I was kind of known for, was starting working on that. And that was way back. And to see how everything has kind of, even the stuff like in my auto rights fit, and in my other readings and stuff, that all fits. And like the connections and everything with TK and KK, like, there's just a lot that fits. And we know that they are connected to this guy. So that's why I got so much on them. But and looking at how my gifts have changed and shifted from doing auto rights to, and not understanding how it really worked back then, knowing that I found out that I was going to pick up multiple interconnects and cases, which is what the girls told me. So like I said, not everything in the Delphi auto rights will fit here, but a lot of it does. And then when I started doing focus reads to channeling live, and you see the live reading is one of the most accurate I've done. I don't know who the other people are they're saying is connected. And it could just be, like I said, he's connected to other people or whatever. Yeah, if you guys have not subscribed, please subscribe. But you probably all are subscribed here. We're almost at 5K, which is where I was when I lost my other channel. So this is going to be like, I don't know. I just felt like when this hit, there was going to be so much that matched that it was going to be mind-blowing. And it really so far is mind-blowing. And I think a lot of people are going to be going back into the readings and be like, whoa, because I know I have to. I'm going to, once it's a lot to go over. But I think the validation is important. And again, he's alleged, but there's too much that's fitting him, like way too much that is fitting him in my readings, that he has to be involved in some way, or is involved, or is the one, allegedly. So yeah, a lot of people found me through Delphi. Like I said, I think I did the most work on that out of anybody. And it was just one thing that I felt so close to. I felt like I was getting so much good information. Again, the dark attacked me because of it, for whatever reason. I don't really know why, but I started getting attacked in my sleep. Since I stopped that, I never had to worry. I haven't had to worry about that since. So it was kind of weird when I was going. I don't know if maybe I got too close or I hit on something that was a little too close, and why I don't know. I wonder if this guy's into some kind of witchcraft, because I kept getting the witchcraft thing in the last reading. So, I mean, I don't know. Again, that's speculation, but it seems like there's, like I said, there's a lot that hit TK and KK because they're connections. And then, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, there, and I got in, like, I wish I could find it, but for some reason it's not popping up, and I know I got it. I know I did, because it's one of those things, like, it'll click if I remember it. And so that would be, and if he came in, if he might have been coming in to try to help as well, with the girls communicate, because, you know, when he goes on the other side, he's going to know, and he might have unalived himself because of that situation. Like, it makes me wonder if maybe he found something out. Because that's something that, you know, he had a whole family and he's a pastor. And so it just makes you wonder, really what made that happen. And it's weird because, like I said, it's so weird because, like, the last reading, I kept thinking of my mom, and that's my mom's name, Kathy. And I didn't say it because I was like, I don't know why I'm thinking of my mom. But now it makes sense to me. And that's one thing I overthink too much and don't say. But yeah, looking back now, the girls were trying to show us where he worked and where he lived in connection to the church and the school, and them playing softball, because that kept coming. That came in multiple times. The church and baseball or softball, like, that came in a lot. So it makes me wonder if he met them that way. Or seen them that way, because that's kind of what I'm taking from it. Yeah, exactly. So the girls did a wonderful job when they gave me information, and looking back on it now, it's like, wow, okay, mind-blowing, girls. And again, as I've always said, they're okay. They're okay on the other side. This is more for these that are left behind, for karma and justice to be served. But it is basically for their family and for everybody that this touched to kind of okay, there's another thing that might be hitting on my world events. Huge volcano sets off warning signals in Hawaii. So I don't know if you guys know. Let's see. I can't remember if it's in world event 7 or 8. It's one of those two. I was getting Hawaii, and I was getting a volcano, and I was getting that it was going to be people running from this volcano. And it turns out Hawaii officials warning residents of the Big Island at Maui Loa, the world's largest active volcano, is in the state of heightened unrest and signals that it might erupt. The volcano, which covers half of the island of Hawaii, is under elevated advisory alert, but officials warn that does not mean the eruption is imminent. Hopefully that's wrong, that I got that it was going to explode. Because a lot of things if you guys have not seen my world event, I mean, I am baffled at the stuff that is happening that I have gotten in that. So that's where my foresight has gotten kind of out of control in a good way. But, you know, I'm only given. Yeah, you do need to get the videos done, Shazam. Quit being sick. No, I'm just kidding. We try to do validation videos, but it's a lot. It takes a lot, you know. And we're actually working on a project where we're going to take the, like, cases that I've worked where bodies have been found where I've said, we're going to take the world events, things that have happened, and then we're going to take parts of my mind-blowing mediumship readings, and we're going to put it all into a video. I don't know if we're going to do 3 separate videos or just one video, and it's going to be like a validation thing, because I don't think people realize how much is validated. And it's not for me, it's more for like a spirit, like validation of spirit, validation of my gifts and how they work. and that I'm not just some hoo-ha that comes on here and just spouts a bunch of crap that doesn't happen or don't know what I'm talking about. And you know what I mean? So, I think it's important. Plus my mom, she's being weird. She wants to send it to places. So, yeah. So we're going to work. It's a huge project because there's a lot. I didn't realize there's a lot of information like that I got that is accurate to where people have been found. So I'm having, and I noticed like some of my like Mackenzie and stuff like those are really confusing readings, but I went through Mackenzie and stuff in that is like stuff that I got in my world events right now. So there are some more that are confusing, but as you notice, as I've evolved and as I've started channeling live, it's I get more direct information now. Except for the auto writes, and the auto writes, I think it's because I need to auto write to get a bunch of stuff coming at me for the world event. So it just works differently. I thought about doing that live, but I think I want to keep it like that. Yeah. And you miss, and Rick too. There's a because he's called Rick or Ricky by his wife, and Richard. So Rick and Alan both came in the very last reading, but it's coming before you. Yeah. It's not mine. Mine are all quiet for once. I'm gonna have to get off here and go. I've got to run into town and get hay for my goats. They're probably mad at me right now because they don't have any and they're hungry. But I was kind of letting the dogs out for a little bit. It's not my cat. Yep. So, did you get that nose stuff, Shazam, that I told you to get? Yeah, you better look for yours. It's not mine. Everybody's quiet right now. So, I don't know. We'll have to go through and we might do a different live. I don't know if we really need to do another live. I just wanted to come on here and talk about this real quick, but I think we wanted to go through like the readings and put, put what's being validated so far. So Shazam, you'll have to go back through. We'll have to go back through this and make notes because there's stuff that I found out during this live that I didn't know that we can go back in the readings and find. Spirit has blown my own mind. I am flabbergasted right now, like literally flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted, tripped out. And a lot of different, pictures were being shared, and I was like, yeah, it's okay if it burned your nostrils. It's burning your nostrils because you're raw from rubbing your nose. It's okay. It'll work. It'll work good. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for liking, subscribing, supporting all these years. And yeah, I can't believe it. So yep. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to get off here unless anybody has any questions, because I can't really think of anything to talk about anymore without going over the same stuff. So if nobody has any questions, I'm going to jump off for now. Just had to kind of jump on here like all the other people on YouTube. It's part of having a YouTube channel. So, yep. I know, like the whole thing with Quentin and getting that in Stephanie Parze and the time frame of her going missing in October, him missing now, and that's why I feel like he's at the landfill, because Spirit gave me his name and the landfill together, and so that's why I'm not going back on that at all. Plus, in Quentin, I mean, I was taken right to where they supposedly dumped him, like that area, and then right up to the landfill. I mean, and I went the perimeter, but I always came back. So that's why I'm like, nope, it's got to be that. And just because they're having a hard time finding him does not mean he's not there. So anyways, I lost a lot of people because I said I was going. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot.